My friends, once again, Voshfield, subbing in today since my camera feels like it's too good to show up to stream today. You know, what are you gonna do? Please, God, enjoy me, covering this shit, because this is funny as fuck, okay? Does anyone remember Lauren Chen? She used to be a lot more relevant than she is now, still kind of stupid. Here's Shoe0nHead, with a tweet, 40,000 likes. Probably because I retweeted it, you know, with my massive Twitter account, you know, obviously. Please enjoy.
Between the US, Germany, and Finland. But if you ask a socialist why it is that Germany and Finland perform better than the US in certain metrics, they'll say it's because the government is bigger and the taxes are higher. That is the answer to prosperity. Is that right though? Are higher taxes and big government really the answer to Germany and Finland's success? It couldn't possibly be because they have overwhelmingly homogeneous populations. Right? Populations that, by the way, also have a higher average IQ and narrower distribution than the US does. If it was, there are a lot.
Interesting. Fascinating. So let's go over this point by point, shall we? Okay? Point by point, baby. Let's do it.
Lot of differences between the US, Germany, and Finland. But if you ask a socialist why it is that Germany and Finland perform better than the US in certain metrics, they'll say it's because the government is bigger and the taxes are higher.
Have you ever, in your entire lives, heard a socialist say we need bigger government? Any of you? Have you ever heard that phrase from a socialist? Once. I never have. The issue with American healthcare isn't that it's quote-unquote small government. The issue with American healthcare is that it's terribly bloated, bureaucracy-ridden, poorly run, and incredibly expensive for the poor results we get from it. That's what it is. You could rearrange the American healthcare system, make it cheaper, and provide better care to everybody. But yeah, socialists never use the term bigger government. See, conservatives are still pretending that they're in some sort of big government versus small government war with the left. Which, first of all, Lauren Chen is not pro-small government. Lauren Chen is, this is going to be surprising to you guys based on what you just heard from her, an ethno-nationalist and a fascist who prioritizes a strong federal government. So the idea that she, full-on defending ICE, police, concentration camps at the border, strong military, all that. When conservatives say they like small government, what they mean is low taxes for wealthy people and low welfare for black people. That's what they mean. That's the only thing they want small. That's the only thing they care about. So the idea that this is some sort of oh yeah, here we go. Classic, thank you. Oh, this is from 2 days ago. Look, folks, if I'm going to ship a hypothetical authoritarian regime, it's going to be a theocracy, my dude. Nice. We're getting full-on 14-year-old Crusader Kings memes over here. So yeah, we are not talking about a proponent of small government. We are talking about a 14-year-old pole user stuffed into the body of some sort of adult woman. But we can continue because it only gets stupider from here.
That is the answer to prosperity. Is that right though? Are higher taxes and big government really the answer to...
Well, higher taxes for wealthy people, yeah, sure, fuck them. But I don't know what you mean by big government. Like, again, when I think of big government, like a government that's big and overwhelming, I think of a police state. I think of a massive military-industrial complex. I think of an incredibly circuitous, complicated, Kafkaesque criminal justice system that has the highest prison population in the world. That's what I think of when I think of big government. In which case, America's government is not only fucking massive, it's the biggest in the world, and conservatives are its biggest champion. When I think big government, I don't think multi-billionaires can only buy 2 digits of yachts rather than 3 digits of yachts because slightly more of their money is going towards healthcare to keep the rest of the country functioning properly, on par with every other developed country on Earth. That's not what I think of when I think of big government.
Germany and Finland's success? It couldn't possibly be because they have overwhelmingly homogeneous populations, right? Populations that, by the way, also have a higher average IQ and narrower distribution than the US does.
So, overwhelmingly more homogeneous populations and higher IQ. So, first of all, let's not kid ourselves. This is Nazi shit, okay? Like, let's not pretend. When you're talking about cultural homogeneity and IQ, it's pretty clear what you're talking about. But also, Germany. Wasn't Germany the country that was being destroyed with rape refugees coming in? What I thought. Wait, hold on. I thought Germany was the previously functional country that is now being obliterated with the catastrophic weight of brown migrants. So, how can Germany simultaneously be a libcucked country with millions of refugees that are bloating its system and increasing its crime, but also be a hyper-functional society that bases its functionality on high IQ and on cultural homogeneity? How does that work exactly? Could it be that when Germany is outperforming us in one respect, they'll hold it up as a racially homogenous super society we could never achieve because of our blacks? But when Germany accepts migrants, it's going to be the death of Western civilization? Just a complete doublethink, possibly, maybe? Now, the thought that Lauren Chen might be a racist isn't exactly surprising to anyone who watches her content, but it gets funnier than that. So, first of all, here we are in the comment section. You know, let's peruse. To be fair, you have a very high IQ to understand social democracy. Blah blah. Well, it turns out Germany and America's average IQ are the same. They're 1 point off. America's average IQ is 98. Germany's average IQ is 99. The most culturally homogeneous countries on the planet are not European social democracies. They're tiny fucking poor countries in like Eastern and Central Europe and in some parts of Asia. And those countries do not have thriving social democracies. Yeah, Japan does as well. And Japan's economy has a fuck ton of problems. Additionally, in terms of cultural diversity, America is 80th in the world. You can look this up if you want. I'm not going to. You can. These are all like publicly available information. The United States is 80th in the world. Canada is higher than us. Australia is 11th. These countries have better healthcare systems than us. So let me remind you, Lauren Chen blames our inability to have a functioning social democracy on our low IQ and our cultural heterogeneity, but there are countries with the same IQ and with higher cultural heterogeneity that have better healthcare systems. So not only is she racist, she's a racist idiot. She's wrong. She's factually incorrect in this respect. Is that surprising to you? That the dog whistling of a ethno-nationalist might not be factually reliable? Maybe our IQ could be higher if Lauren Chen would move out. Wait, actually, isn't Lauren Chen a Canadian? How is that not affecting the social democracy over there in Canada? Isn't she like a mixed race Canadian? Yeah. So that's a hit to the IQ. That's a hit to the cultural homogeneity, but they managed to have a better healthcare system than us. Whew. How do they do it? Well, anyway, Lauren Chen wasn't going to take this sitting down, folks. The populations of Germany and Finland are very different than that of the US. That's exactly what she said in her video. She said they're very different. That's the terminology she used. It's wrong to attribute the social mobility of those countries solely to their big government. We weren't talking about social mobility. We were talking about social programs. Social mobility is a measurement of how, the likelihood of people in a given economic class to be able to move to another economic class over the course of their lifetime. That's not what we were talking about. So what you're saying is America can't have healthcare because of brown people. Very cool, Shoe. And this is the purpose of dog whistling. Every single person who likes Lauren Chen watched Lauren Chen in that video, and when she said IQ and cultural homogeneity, they know exactly what Lauren Chen meant. There is no doubt in their mind, absolutely no ambiguity in their minds as to what they meant. It's the easiest thing in the world for them to derive. They say, oh yeah, because the blacks, the browns, yeah, obviously, blacks are low IQ, they're in our country. Yeah, if we had a white ethno state, it'd be better, white like Germany. Except wait, Germany also has millions of brown migrants. But we'll ignore that. This is more of a dog bullhorn, more of the foghorn that big like ships have that alerts people within an 8-mile radius to that there's a big boat, around. But anyway, yeah, so she's completely backpedaling here, dishonestly framing her language, so on and so forth. And if you roll through here, she's actually like in hardcore cope mode. She's she's defending herself. Here's Josephine Matthias, who I had on the channel like a year ago. Really enjoyed that conversation, defending her, her statements, getting ratioed with every tweet she makes. I like this one, of course, from James Medlock. This is incorrect. Studies have shown that before taking into account redistribution, income mobility is the same in Denmark as it is in the US. The greater mobility in Denmark is entirely about the welfare state and union policies. So it turns out having better social programs increases the things that she's saying are increased through cultural homogeneity and through higher IQ. But if we go through, she tries to frame this as like, by cultural homogeneity, she meant like people who are more educated, more skilled, and about the same level of wealth, which is interesting because I've never seen Lauren Chen have an issue with undereducated or poor people before. That's really interesting. So she's big in the wealth redistribution. Well, no. So she's big on the affordable education for everyone. Well, no. Even though she's now claiming these are the things that keep us from having a better, more functioning society, she's not in favor of them? I wonder what conceivable thing she might internally, not out loud, because I might get her in trouble, propose as a solution to the problem of America's cultural homogeneity and low IQ. What solutions might she propose if YouTube didn't have a TOS? Let me think. Some kind of solution, perhaps. Sean tweeted this. Sean Jen, the Skull Guy, that a bunch of conservative content is essentially just advocating for eugenics and ethno-states without actually completing the thought. So a bunch of conservatives will say like, yeah, just cultural diversity in our country isn't working, yeah, I don't know, like, just seems like race relations are taking a really bad turn. I don't know what to do about that, And then you'll ask, are you an ethno-stater? And they'll go, no, ethno-state, ethnic cleansing. I'm not, what do you mean? No. I'm just talking about these issues. I think we should look for solutions. Okay, do you have any solutions? Nah, I don't have any solutions. No. And then they do the okay sign at the camera, But if we go further, the funniest tweet here. Oh yeah, here's one. Here's some Lauren Chen tweet. This kid got attacked by a dog and saved his little sister. It's really, really cool of the kid. Lauren Chen, let's guess what kind of dog it was. Lauren Chen responds, one where the overwhelming stats say nothing about the breed, I'm sure. Now, if you've spent any time on Poll, you know that this is a pit bull reference. Pit bulls are used as a dog whistle in racist communities because pit bulls have a propensity to commit, well, they attack people, I guess, because they're like violent. I don't know if there's actually anything wrong with pit bulls or whatever, but yeah, Mr. Worldwide has a tendency to attack people. What are you going to do? But they do the pit bull thing with like the black thing, like pit bulls are dangerous, black people are dangerous. It's about the level of dog whistle you would expect from people with the average IQ of a neo-Nazi. How do we talk about black people without being called racist? What if we called them schmack people? No, that's too obvious. What if we just said pit bulls? Oh yeah, dude, bro, that's genius. No one will ever see through this one. IQ differences amongst the races are indisputable. The debate is whether it's attributable to nature, nurture, or a combination of both. Just, common conservative talking points, race and IQ, so on. But hold on. I need to find that one goddamn tweet. It's gotta be somewhere here. Lauren Chen, damn, Lauren, don't do this to me, Lauren. Oh, here we go. Maybe next time don't use homogeneous society then, because that's definitely how it got interpreted. Homogeneous is absolutely the point, though. I'm not going to back away from the truth because the people who might disagree with me. If you're on bringing race into it, that's on you. Dude, if you read race into me talking about cultural homogeneity and IQ, that's on you, bro. Bro, when I talk about race, when I talk about culture and IQ, and you see race into that, that's on you. You clearly have some sort of like race hang-up, bro. I'm talking about like culture and IQ. I don't know what that has to do with race. And then somebody asks, so if it's not racial homogeneity you want, what kind of homogeneity is it, Lauren? Education, wealth, skill, language, culture, religion. You know, like literally all parts of society. Do you want a society where people have homogeneous amounts of wealth? Comrade Chen, welcome to the fucking club. Also, in all seriousness though, what kind of dystopian bullshit is this? You know, she was just typing out anything she could think of that wasn't race. You want everyone to have homogeneous levels of skill? What the fuck? Levels of education? So this is like worse than an ethno-state. This is a society in which literally everybody is exactly the same. This is what people make fun of communists for. You literally just want a bunch of drone people you can recruit for the state. Like, this is dystopian. This is not just like big government. This is tyrannical, like cloning that people to have the perfect gene sequence to be tools of the state so they can be recruited and used. This is well beyond. This is like an NPC meme. This is well beyond even the most hyperbolic criticisms of communism. And by the way, she doesn't believe any of this shit. She doesn't believe a single thing she types out here. All of this because she's trying to avoid the race thing. If she wasn't, again, a fucking idiot, she could have typed out, I want homogeneity in the sense that we have the same basic values about society, you know, we speak the same language, maybe we have the same underlying moral and legal philosophy, you know, more reasonable things you could defend as a sort of cultural homogeneity. But unfortunately for Lauren Chen, she is a fucking idiot. So instead she types out the plot to Harrison Bergeson, where every human being is handicapped to be exactly the same. Because she's so desperate to explain away her dog whistle. Lauren Chen is a fucking idiot. I need to be incredibly clear with that. And she isn't even incapable. She's so bad at what she does, she can't even back off her dog whistles properly. What's more, she was so seething mad after all of this, she made a fucking video, Socialist Lies episode 238, which if we go to the channel, has Shoe0nHead and Ushanka talking at her, with her giving a smug reaction. You know, this smug reaction face right here is the closest I've ever seen to a human recreation of the Wojak who's crying wearing a smug mask. Look at this. Look at this shit. It is literally crying Wojak wearing a mask, dude. Holy fuck. You can actually see the line where you can peel back the smug face and just see the tears streaming down underneath it. And it's like 18 minutes long. I mean, we can look at it for a second. Do you still say right-wingers are less gatekeepy than the left? Generally, but it depends on which part of the left and which part of the right. I think that the left is getting a lot better about gatekeeping, by the way. Entirely, by the way, because of my excellent contributions to the field. Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show and thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are going to be talking about the dishonesty of Shoe0nHead and also socialism in general. And I usually don't like to make videos that could be construed as being drama-centric. That's not the point of this channel. That's not what I'm here for. But I also don't like being lied about. So that's what we're gonna do today, is clear some stuff up. And before we go any further,
I heard somebody say she cries somewhere in this video.
I do just want to and naturalist and
rates of economic mobility. The American dream is more alive in these big government countries than in America.
This is objectively true, by the way. The American dream is the idea that you can make it from nothing, and that means the American dream thus is a measurement of social mobility, and America has terrible social mobility. Hold on. Social mobility ranked by country. So keep that in mind. The American dream is literally a measurement of social mobility. If you have nothing, if you just came in on fucking Ellis Island with nothing but a bag full of sunflower seeds and 14 cents, that can you make it, you know? Infographic rating the social mobility of 82 countries. Denmark, Norway, Finland, Sweden, Iceland, Netherlands, Switzerland, Belgium, Austria, Luxembourg, Germany, France, Slovenia, Canada, Japan, Australia, Malta, Ireland, Czechia, Singapore, UK, New Zealand, Estonia, Portugal, South Korea, Lithuania, and then here at number 27, the American dream in the United States, 27th in the world. There are 26 countries with a better American dream than America. I mean, this is just a fact. Like, that's just what it is. Sorry. America sucks. What are you gonna do? But yeah.
There are a lot of differences
Does she
between
cry?
the
Hold on.
spending levels.
Cry.
Better education.
Right.
You'll be able to see quotes for the exact
Maybe?
same coverage
No.
you already is.
No.
I am not telling Americans anything.
I know.
There's your Canadian healthcare system. You're not white and they're very skilled, and that's fine. But come on, mass migration absolutely has cultural and political effects on Western countries, and I mean, I don't think that should be off limits in terms of criticism just because right now those migrants happen to be brown and socialists apparently love to call people racists.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's what she's defending. She's just defending. Dude, I'm not saying anything like racial. I'm just saying we should have the legal right to talk about it. And like the fact that they're brown is just coincidental. You know, people on the right aren't specifically attacking the migrants because they're brown, or making memes about brown people raping all their white women or anything like that. It's just, you know, a coincidence. We would treat it exactly the same if it were white immigrants coming in from the Icelandic countries. 100%.
Obviously, when it comes to politics, no, a demographic out that is a. I want more homogeneity. They're not there for now, but
all right. Whoever told me she cried lied to me, or she got over it real fucking quick. Anyway, yeah. Just again, this is the reason why, by the way, I don't debate as many Nazis as I used to. Wait, she does? Well, give me a timestamp then. You paused on it?
But
Wait,
Finland is different than school choice, and trying to introduce
it's at 11 minutes. She cries at 11 minutes. Okay. All right. Okay.
that they have not paid into. So yeah, here is a mixed race person living in Canada who has some thoughts about healthcare. Is that all right with you, white American? Do I have your permission to
Oh, it's Idpol. I'm actually mixed race, so when I advocate for an ethno-state and you, a white person, tell me that that's racist, that's kind of a microaggression from you, Shoe0nHead. Nazis love Idpol, or fascists love Idpol. I hear Idpol from these people way the fuck more than I do from other groups. Have you ever met a far right person who wasn't white, who didn't constantly talk about how they're not white? When I see non-white lefties, by the way, they're mostly just talking about class and shit. Sometimes they'll talk about, like, if they're black, they'll say, like, hey, my grandpa was with the Black Panthers or some shit. If you've got a fasci or a Nazi who's a non-white person, these motherfuckers never shut up about it. They never shut up about it. Whatever the case is, yeah. Lauren Chen isn't smart enough to even maintain the veneer of the dog whistle she's trying to sell, and it's pretty funny. And it looks like her views are way down. I guess people just got kind of tired of the shtick. Yeah, I don't know. Sucks. Yeah, whoops. You know, I remember her one time shit-talking me on a live stream, and I invited her to come talk to me on mine sometime, and she declined. Or I think she didn't even actually respond, so maybe this will be a good shot. Lauren Chen, if you ever want to talk at some point about the totally not ethno-state that you support, or like anything like that, we could actually talk about literally any subject here, like social mobility, the American dream, the importance of high tax, like literally anything you want to talk about. I'd love to talk about it with you, you know? It would get you more views than whatever you're doing now.